Millions of low-income Americans are eligible for a one-time tax break this year. People working low-paying jobs with no children who are 19 and older qualify for the federal earned income tax credit. Now, they can receive a credit worth up to $1,500, nearly triple what it was worth in 2020. Shares of PayPal plunged at least 24% yesterday after the company partially blamed inflation for bringing down consumer spending. The payment platform also closed 4.5 million illegitimate accounts, lowering its forecast for new customers. But today's top story, CNN president Jeff Zucker resigned after failing to disclose a romantic relationship with a senior executive at his network. We've learned that all of this came to light during an investigation into former anchor Chris Cuomo. Jerika Duncan has the latest.
He was one of America's most powerful moguls who propelled the careers of media stars. His exit came suddenly. In his resignation letter, Jeff Zucker admitted to a consensual relationship with another executive at CNN. "I was required to disclose it," Zucker wrote, "but I didn't. I was wrong." In a separate statement, CNN Chief Marketing Officer Allison Gullist admitted to the relationship. The two met more than 20 years ago when both were at NBC. Zucker's downfall comes just 2 months after CNN anchor Chris Cuomo was fired for not disclosing the extent of his involvement and advising his brother, then New York's governor, on how to handle sexual harassment allegations. During the Chris Cuomo investigation, Zucker was asked about his own relationship with Gullist.
What stands out as problematic when you look at why he resigned?
Leadership and culture starts from the top. And if he's not following it, I don't know how they can expect any employee to follow it.
CNN host Allison Camerata defended Zucker.
These are two consenting adults who are both executives. That they can't have a private relationship feels wrong.
The network's Brian Stelter says it may all be a domino effect from Chris Cuomo's firing.
There were reports that he wasn't going to get paid the millions of dollars that were going to be on the remainder of his contract. So as a source said to me earlier today, he was trying to burn the place down.
Last year, it was rumored that Gullist was next in line to take Zucker's position. Now, she is staying at the network for now. She did release a statement saying that the relationship started during the pandemic, but sources say it was known that the two had been in a relationship before that. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
So Stephen Gandel is here to discuss all of this. He is the news editor for the New York Times DealBook. Thanks for joining us this morning. Let's start with this very last story. Jeff Zucker leaving CNN. You know, CNN, I know, is sort of going through some expansion. CNN Plus is being launched and all that stuff. What sort of impact could this have? Do we know who is likely to take over?
We don't know yet. It's a team of lieutenants that are taking over. And as you said, CNN Plus, this was a big bet, or is a big bet, by Jeff Zucker. He's been hiring some big talent, and there was rumors that he was working on more. And so they're spending a lot. It wasn't initially clear, you know, all of Warner Media is merging with Discover. It wasn't initially clear that CNN would be part of it, but now they've said it is an integral part of that deal. It generates a ton of money. And again, Jeff Zucker has set up this big bet to expand CNN's offerings. And so we'll see if the next person who's going to run it wants to stick with that bet.
Moving on to the Labor Department jobs numbers. They will be released for January, tomorrow. What are we thinking? What's your prediction on how the numbers are going to pan out?
The prediction from most people is that it's going to be not good, right? And the thing about it is it's not clear what we can tell from the numbers. The problem is that the Omicron COVID cases peaked in the middle of January, and that's just when the Department of Labor was collecting the data for January's jobs report. And so we're probably going to see a bad number. Some people think we're going to see that the economy lost jobs for the first time in more than a year. But economists are saying, and Biden administration officials are whispering to reporters and others to say, hey, you know, look through these numbers. COVID cases are going down. Jobs numbers should go up in the next few months.
Listen, before I let you go, another story that we didn't include in our list of stories there, but we talked about it in the headlines. Meta is taking some hits, down more than 20% in pre-market trading. Yeah, I know Facebook is hurting a little bit, but it seems like a lot has been done at the company to recognize that they may shrink in some areas in the hopes of growing in other areas. That's what Meta is all about. So what's happening to Meta / Facebook / Instagram, this whole company?
Well, like just a few months ago, Zuckerberg renamed the company, and now we sort of know why he was like, let's look over here in the metaverse and not look at Facebook. The numbers were not good. It was for the first quarter where user engagement went down, ad revenue was stagnant in the U.S. and Canada, and they said for this quarter, for the first quarter, revenue for the whole company may only be up 3%. 3%. This used to be one of the hottest growth companies. So their problem is that they're getting beaten by TikTok for younger users. They're losing customers for Facebook faster than they can replace with the metaverse, which is really something, it's still pie in the sky and not something bringing in money or profits yet.
Yeah, it's true. The metaverse is sort of more of a concept than anything else. And the hardware, the VR stuff is pretty expensive for most people. I will be watching, and maybe we'll talk about this as we head closer to the midterm elections, what politics will do for Facebook. Will it be the same as it was during the general election? Stephen Gandel, thank you very much.
Nice to see you again.